Welcome back to another episode of What the Fuck Are the Planets Doing Today? I'm your host, Brooke, and let's dive into the chart, shall we? So, before I do that, let me just say, I'm so sorry I was not able to show up yesterday for my daily. However, if you've watched my Pisces lunar eclipse lunation update, y'all already know what's going on. So if I don't show up a day, you got that to go in there, and there's timestamps, okay? But anyway, um, I overslept my time to do my daily. It was just gone. So I'm here. I do want to note that Mercury and the Sun are going to start their conjunction, and their Cazimi will be exact tomorrow. But at 6:27 a.m., Mercury started its conjunction at 19 degrees, conjuncting the Sun. Now, this will build up over the next 24 hours until that Cazimi is exact, and that's going to be exact on 9:13 at 6:31 a.m. Now, Mercury and the Sun are out of those infamous degrees. They've already had their communication with the South Node. You all probably had some things from the past coming back around to be examined, whether it be with health, whether it be with your, day-to-day life, routine, all those things. Venus is now at 21 degrees, working into her trine with Eris and Chiron. And as Venus gets a little bit closer to that trine, there could be a lot of sacred fire that is brought up to the surface. There could be some things that sudden windfalls of money, also sudden, loss of money, because Chiron is the wounded healer, and I do see that as a dualistic thing. Once you heal that wound, it becomes your superpower. It's not something that's truly meant to hurt you and be detrimental. Okay? It can become a superpower. So, however, there could be some things that happen as far as money. There could be some things that happen with the stock market or even crypto. Mars is now officially out of that infamous which I'm so thankful we only have the nodes, okay? That's a good thing. However, we've got Lilith at that infamous degree. And it goes Lilith 22 degrees, Mars 23 degrees, Zeus 24 degrees. And they're all opposing Chiron and Eris. Now, on my Pisces lunar eclipse lunation update, I did prepare you guys that this could be a day that some things happen within the military industrial complex. There could be some things that we hear about. There could be some revelations. We could even possibly hear of some pew pew. Okay. I'm hoping we've gotten past that point. However, the god of WAR opposing Eris, which is basically the same thing, conjunct Chiron. There could be some wounds, if you get my drift, okay? Aries, the warrior. So hold on. I would recommend calling in divine protection if you have to go out. There could even be wounds, because Aries rules the head. Could be some wounds to the head. Could be some you get my drift, because of this Mars opposition. I don't feel it's going to be as intense as the 22 degree point that we had with Mars. However, it's still going to be a pretty intense opposition. Do be prepared for the day. Now, Lilith is at that degree, so there's that. Okay. Well, Venus is completely out of that square with Poseidon. That's a good thing. And Jupiter is still in that trine with the North Node, sextile the South Node, and exact sextile with Mercury and the Sun. So there could be some good things that are brought out of this. You know, just because the past is coming back around doesn't always necessarily mean that it's a bad thing. You know, it could be an idea of maybe a past routine that worked out for you, maybe a past schedule, maybe a past, and I don't want to say diet, but a better choice of foods that truly helped you on your day-to-day life. We now have the moon in Taurus. So it's going to trine the Sun and Mercury right before sunrise. And even the South Node too, and sextile the North Node. So there could be I'm hearing the earth, okay, whether it be volcanoes, whether it be earthquakes, there could be something that happens with the earth, okay? Just if you are out and about, if you are guided to travel, if you're guided to go to large groups, gatherings, and something just feels off, listen to it. Specifically until we get out of this, okay? Mars is the god of WAR. Mars rules pew pew and pew. And you know what happened to Irina on the bus? Like, that's Mars. So just be careful, be alert, be aware, okay? Truly be aware because of this here. Listen to your gut. Mercury is all about, you know, that gut feeling, gut check, knowing what's going on. Okay? Truly. Mercury in Virgo has a great. Virgo's got the gut. That's their superpower, okay? Give me one card for the energy for today, please. Justice. Keep an eye on the justice system. 2. Yeah. And, you know, a lot of people's given up on it. A lot of people feels that it's never going to be what it needs to be. Just don't feel like things are really going to be able to move forward. However, okay, if you go back in history and the 3 main WARs that we are having the exact same transits for, the dark doesn't win. So just remember that. There is also divine karmic justice that's being served too, okay? Saturn in Pisces. Keep in mind on the 15th, so literally 3 more days, Saturn's going to retrograde back to that 28-degree point and is going to be opposing this Virgo solar eclipse that we're going to be having, okay? It's going to be exact opposition. So keep your karma clean, keep your soul clean. The last thing you want to be doing is celebrating anybody that's, okay, you don't want to do that. Specifically with the Saturn opposing this Pisces solar eclipse and everybody that's celebrating those things, be careful. It's karmic retribution time, okay? I love you all. We'll talk soon. All right? Bye.